What's up? My name is Mato and welcome to That History Show. This is a series where I teach history through a first-person perspective with the help of animations. Today, I'm in the Indus River Valley Civilization. Do you want to be the coolest guy at the party? Do you want to get all the girls? Do you want to get jacked as hell? Well, of course you do. But how do you do it? Diet and exercise? No, you big dumb idiot. You need to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new here, I have a playlist of every episode to help get you caught up. The link is, as always, in the description and the pinned comment. I also have a Twitter. Follow me, please. With that being said, let's get right into it. The Indus River Valley, which I'll refer to as the IRV, was located on the border between Pakistan and India, which nowadays is the most peaceful, harmonious place on Earth. No, not at all actually. It's tenser than when your grandma makes a racist joke at the dinner table. North to south, it stretched from the Arabian Sea all the way to Kashmir, which is like when your uncle walks through the front door. The IRV's geographical placement was important because of rivers. Yeah, I know. Oh, here it goes again, talking about those big, sexy rivers, but there's more to it than that. The Indus River has a bunch of tributaries that allowed the people of the IRV, who are also called Harappans, to settle such a large area of land, despite the fact that the region is generally arid. Along with irrigation and agriculture, the Indus and its tributaries were crucial for trade with its neighbors. These rivers led to the Arabian Sea, which opened up trade to Mesopotamia, Egypt, and even China. The interior of the IRV was primarily forests and deserts, however the land is actually quite fertile. Some materials of the IRV's border included timber and precious metals like gold and silver, which could be easily traded as a result of monkeys with nukes' fondness of shiny things. Something the IRV is famed for is surprisingly advanced urban planning, surpassing that of European cities hundreds of years later. Of the over 1,000 towns and settlements, the largest were Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, both situated along the Indus River. A prominent feature of the two was a citadel, or heavily fortified area filled to the brim with weaponry. These would allow for previously impossible views of the world. That doesn't seem very revolutionary, but then again, the amount of modern commodities we take for granted is innumerable. For example, instant access to information, toilets, and in the IRV you actually had to talk to the people that you're interacting with. Now you can just read about how to stop being such a lazy bastard. You lazy bastard. Famously, there was a sewage system that was light years ahead of anything Paris or London was doing. I mean, you can't really enjoy your castle when you're dying of cholera. There were also trash collection systems, granaries, toilets, and public baths, such as the Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro. This was likely used as a social gathering site, as well as to carry out the dirty fantasies of the elite, allegedly. A lot more focus was placed on hygiene as opposed to religion. There's little evidence of monuments, palaces, or temples, but there were protective walls, warehouses, and dockyards. There's actually little evidence of any religion whatsoever. Interpret that how you will. The ability for humans to not only live, but live relatively comfortably required a lot of innovation. I want to try and highlight some lesser appreciated innovations of the IRV. For example, seals with animal carvings were prominent to identify property and trade goods. Yes, animal drawings. I know what you're thinking, you freak. The IRV also made advancements in metallurgy, allowing more complex metal objects and structures to be built. They constructed canals, watercraft, and docking sites to facilitate Indian Ocean trade. Trade. Canals, sailing your aircraft carriers into international waters. Where have I heard that before? To talk about the government of the IRV, I've called upon my good friend, Catalyst FBI. Catalyst, you there?
What's up, team? My name is Catalyst, and I get to work for the FBI for a day, so I'm going to use this time to explain the government of the IRV. When discussing the government system, scholars get into the scariest of flame wars. Historian flame wars. However, there are three prominent theories. The less likely one is that there was centralized power that reigned over the whole of the civilization. This is theorized as a result of the similarities between settlements. The more likely theory is that the leaders were representatives from different towns and cities. A more outlandish, but still possible theory is that there was no social hierarchy at all. Some physical evidence points to this theory as there was seemingly equal health, but more evidence points against it, such as the varying sizes of houses. What's also heavily questioned is whether or not the Harappans were pacifists. Many scholars believe this is to be a myth, and say that it's more likely that, as a result of their geography, there were no natural enemies. Weapons have been discovered at ancient sites, but the use of these is disputed. Now, if you liked my voice, make sure to check out my channel at youtube.com/catalyst_rxn for the greatest gaming content you've ever laid your eyes on. And don't forget to push through, persevere, keep it 100 and send. My name is CatalystRxn, and I will catch you somewhere on my channel.
I would like to apologize to our audience. The IRV's history is typically separated into 5 periods. The Pre-Harrapan is the classic Neolithic backstory of domestication, settlement, and agriculture. Some animals they domesticated included cats, dogs, camels, and even elephants. The early Harappan period is when trade was established with foreign civilizations and they constructed ports and docks. Some commonly traded items included silver, copper, lapis lazuli, which was used to enchant their armor, allegedly, turquoise, and jade. The mature Harappan is the peak of the IRV civilization, with Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa thriving. I'm sure this could never collapse. The late Harappan is when it collapsed. Climate change led to the drying of rivers, droughts, and famines. The nomad group known as the Aryans began to migrate from modern-day Iran, and trade with Mesopotamia and Egypt simmered out. And then the Harappans were like, screw you, and especially screw you, Bill. By the Post Harrapan, the cities had been abandoned for the Ganges River, marking the end of the Indus River Valley Civilization. Congratulations, you made it to the end of a YouTube video. I have a present for you. It's a playlist of all the That History Show episodes. The link, as always, is in the description. But it's not free. My lawyer has informed me that you are legally required to like, comment, and subscribe. He also told me that if you don't do that, you're a criminal. You're not a criminal, right? Are you? Are you? Where are you hiding the butt? I've been Mato, and I'll see you in the Mayan Empire.
Hi historians, Mato has sent me from the realm of gaming to stretch this video out to roughly 8 minutes, so I'm going to use this time to ramble on about my favorite breakfast. First of all, if you want an ideal breakfast, you must have an ideal amount of sleep. Once you have optimal sleep statistics, you can then begin the ideal breakfast. First, you make a good old cup of joe. Then you get out 2 pans. This is optional, as you can cook eggs and bacon one at a time using one singular pan, but I prefer 2 at the same time so it all finishes with the same amount of heat. Next, get out 2 to 4 eggs, butter, bacon/sausage. P.S. If you're feeling really excessive, you can always make bacon and sausage. Milk or almond milk if lactose intolerant, salt, black pepper, or red depending on your preference, and a loaf of bread. I like honey wheat bread, but you can use any that fit in your toaster. Then, after that, you put butter on your egg pan, put your toast in the toaster, and put your bacon/sausage or both on its pan. Just to let you know, the bacon does not require butter, as its natural grease inside of it is enough for it to not stick to the pan. However, you may need to add a couple of tablespoons of water in order to cook the sausage properly. Remember, when toasting your bread, it's important to toast it as optimally as possible. Same thing goes with the distribution of butter on said toast. And finally, put it all out on your plate/platter and enjoy your meal.